So guys, January the 13th, lead grey sky. It's been raining most of the day. I've done a bit of an update on gardening and things for a while, so I'll show you what I've been on with indoors, because it's been too wet to work outdoors today. The man cave, and I've been racking off the hard cider. Seemed like a good opportunity to get that done. So I've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 litres there. I'll have another 20 litres once this one's gone, and then sort of about half of that one into here. See, I've got it actually sort of this 20 litre bag sat into a 5-gallon fermentation bucket, which, as long as you don't overfill the bag, so it's kind of all guesswork really. But what I've found is, if you, somewhere on the bucket here, there's like a little, there we are, look. So there's a rough gauge here in gallons and litres. Well, 20 litres is there. So as long as the bag is kind of roughly filled out to the diameter of the bucket, then you should get a reasonably rough gauge of when you're hitting 20 litres, and then just obviously I stop the clip there, stops the flow. Get a new bag. I've got another bag sanitising now. When it gets quite low, what I like to do is put a chock of wood underneath it, and then obviously it tips the cider up to this point here. It just makes it easier. I mean, it has thrown some sediment up, but it's not a problem. It'll settle in the box. It's fine. And then, I've got this. That's the last one there. I had those two that were full. I've cleaned those out so that, because what I'm assuming is, once I've filled another bag, I might have, maybe a gallon or something left. So that's why I've got those ready. They're ready sanitised. So that the idea being, I can fill them right to the top, and there's no oxygen, there's no air, because you don't want your cider to get oxidised by leaving too much air headspace or airspace. So it's all looking good. It's a bit messy at the moment, but once I get that done, all those are kind of going, they'll fit nicely under there, and then that means my workbench will be clear. I'll wipe it all down and everything, and then it will be clear for when I start maybe doing seed sowing and all that stuff, probably in about another month's time, and all the cycle begins again. Right, we've got the last vessel going now, and Gordon, if you're watching, my friend, here's the taste test. So it's a little bit cloudy, although temperature and all that might be steaming up the glass, I don't know, but on the whole it's good. There's no off aromas, anything that I can smell anyway, because my olfactory senses are pretty poor, I'll tell you. But here we go. Wow. Well, at this stage of the game, that's very good. It even hasn't had time to sort of settle in the bagging box and just develop its flavours, but happy with that. There's just a nice kick of tannin in the after finish, but not over much, if that makes sense. So it's kind of dry, but not too dry, which is how I like it. Alright guys, it's done. So let me just bring you over here under the workbench again, so I'll be able to see it all clearly. But there's 140 litres under there. Room for a 10 litre box in there, actually. And well, what I needed one of the old, well, say old, I bought some new boxes last year, so I needed one, because the old one I had looked a bit, I didn't trust it, looked a bit scratty to me. So what I did was I siphoned this is last year's cider, last year's brew, into the demijohns, and then I had about just shy of 3 pints from the last of the fermenting vessels there. So I've topped them up. Like I say, don't want any air really, so when those bubbles go, I'm just going to top it right up like that. And then I've got a 10 litre box there. So what I'm thinking is, these are a gallon, which is 4.5, so 2 of those is 9 litres, so that'll go in there absolutely perfectly. And then of course, you know, if I stick that in the fridge, that can go in as well, just to top it all up. And that'll be done, there'll be no waste. And then you can see the sediment there. So all that sediment out of those containers is going to go directly onto my raised beds, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of useful nutrients in there. And then of course my first job tomorrow is to wash and scrub all these clean. But like I say, it's good because it means now that my bench will be clear. Guys, welcome back. It's the 14th of February, so just want to catch up from yesterday's clip. Alright, there you go, you can see the bench is clear. So I've got it all finished this morning. That was the last 10 litre box I did there. So as I say, under there now there's 150 litres, and the bench is clear. You know, to start thinking about doing propagation and things in a few weeks' time. So I'm going to take you for a very quick look round the garden. Okay, so you can see this is where I've emptied the fermenting vessels, the yeast deposits. So I've on that one, on that one, and on that one. That was the what's it? I forget the name of, not rocket. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But you can see that recent snow and everything, that's just absolutely trashed it. But you know, to be honest, Mizunza, the word come back to me. Up to that point, even though it had grown big and it would probably be quite bitter, it was perfectly hardy, which is quite interesting. If I just spin you round, Savoy cabbage, you know, they're coping fine. I mean, yeah, we've got a lot of slug damage, but you can see the hearts are developing. They're not going to be massive, but maybe I'm hoping by the end of possibly March or something, or into April, maybe we'll get some nice little heads off those. The thing I was annoyed about, and this is the first time this has happened since I did this raised bed veg garden, backyard veg plot, the wood pigeons found my spring cabbage, and you can see they've pretty well, you know, trashed them. I think they may grow back, and I've got a few extra plants my mate gave me, so what I'm probably going to do is put the extra plants in and then just obviously net it over, so they, and then I'm hoping they might regrow, even though, I mean, you know, they've gone right into the heart, so I don't know how we'll go on with those, but that's quite annoying. So I'm going to have to, obviously that's a new threat I'm going to have to be mindful about. The garlic, that's looking fine, no problem with that. This kale's still producing some new stuff at the top here, and then I guess in about a couple of months' time it'll start sprouting some flower shoots out, so whether or not we'll still have it in there by then, I don't know, to be honest with you. So despite all the cold weather, everything's doing fine. I could probably, well yeah, I can actually, can take another picking of leaves off this overwintering hill 2 lettuce. I have been harvesting some coriander, you can see the difference here. Just put it into a curry, really nice, really nice. And also I think when I pick the lettuce I'll harvest some more spinach leaves. The spring onions are just ticking over, which is fine, absolutely no problem. I haven't watered this, by the way, for probably about a month or more. It doesn't need it. And this is the other Mizunza, which is looking pretty healthy, so I mean, you know, even I can take some small pickings off that. I'm going to do some more beetroot today, which is stored in the damp wood shaving. And if I just point you around here, these are the spring cabbage my mate gave me. I know I've talked about it before Christmas time, but now all the leaves have gone, if I can get a dry day, I want to get my pole saw, get in and take a big lump of this growth out of this multi-grafted apple tree. It's way too big, so kind of where that bottom of that windowsill, I'm thinking somewhere like that. So it's a lot to come out. And just one more interesting observation: this asparagus, you can see there's still quite a few berries on this bit here, just there. Look, if you can see them. But what I've been observing is the blackbirds absolutely love them. They've been coming up and then they perch on there and then sort of fly into there, and they've eaten a lot, which is great. You know, I'm really chuffed that they like them, and it's been sustaining them through these winter months. So you can come and finish the rest, guys, anytime you like. And then I'm in no hurry, but obviously I'll just cut that back, and then it can be sort of shredded up a bit and chucked in the compost, and then I'll top it up with about an inch of fresh compost in March sometime, and that should give it the nutrients it needs. Okay guys, that's it for this one then. You may notice I've been doing a few reviews on the channel, which actually kind of quite suits me, because I've intentionally been taking things easy following my major surgery, 2 major surgeries actually. And now I feel like I'm sort of recovered really well, so I'm going to get into kind of more strenuous activity. But yeah, so I hope you don't mind me doing these review things, because it's quite useful, keeps the channel going, and I find it quite interesting, some of the things that are sent for me to review. So until the next one, take care and see you soon.